Hey guys, D.Bowie here, and this is how to play Tusk now, featuring Kuroky. As of always, while this video might suggest to you that this is the only way to play Tusk, this is one of maybe many ways to approach the hero. Okay, so the first thing about Tusk is that unlike a lot of heroes, you can feel completely lost in which skill to learn at level 1. Snowball and Ice Shards have similar cooldowns, mana cost, and the biggest difference between them is cast range. Ice Shards has 50% more cast range than Snowball, while Snowball can deal more damage and also stuns. Snowball, while a great skill when you have tons of allies with you, can end up putting tons of heroes in a terrible spot. Remember this game?
And ooh, the snowball, they're getting their buddies inside of it. They're pinging out on Puppy.
Oh my
They're gonna dive this tower. Puppy goes down. It's a first blood. Afterlife gets it, but now the turnaround. S4 gets a clap on the entire team. Sand King goes down first. ZXC on the run, but is it Shomi that gets left behind? They're gonna turn it. Oh my god, now Arteezy, he gets bashed. He's in trouble. He goes down. It's another snowball.
What did they do? They put themselves on the high ground.
What is this game?
No! No!
This is a disaster.
No!
At the same time, Ice Shards is a skill shot and rewards skill, and you can get heroes stuck in bad spots. Since that fight is happening so close to Radiant's base and Kuro doesn't have his entire team with him, he definitely doesn't want to kill everyone with a snowball that goes wrong. He lands a decent Ice Shards. I'm not really sure whether you can completely block that path in this patch, but this is one of the greatest strengths of this skill, a more versatile feature that is harder to land and that lasts 7 seconds. After Kato runs away, Kuro stands around that ward spot, maybe to scout whether Radiant also placed a ward in that location during the last engagement. It doesn't seem like it, and when they spot Legion going forward in the lane, they go in to get a kill. But pay attention in their decision making. They see Kato TPing in, but they don't back. That would 100% reveal that they had a ward in that area, so they keep going. Since Kato was spamming Illuminate from the trees, it is a good idea to contest him at level 1, especially during the cooldown of the skill. When Kuro spots Kato running away, we can see an interesting aspect of Ice Shards that not many people dominate. The first aspect that is not that relevant here is the travel time of Ice Shards, meaning that you need to get the feel of where you throw them to catch your opponents. The second one is the collision radius of the shards. Sometimes you throw the skill and you end up throwing the enemy away from the shards. They have 65 radius, so you need to have that in mind when you use the skill. Because of that, you always want to throw it not that close to where the opponent will be, or else you risk helping them instead of getting them stuck. See where Kuro clicks? But again, Kato runs away with just a little bit of HP because Legion had level 2, while Luna did not. They are finally able to get a kill. Pay attention how Kuro does it. Kato is using a very common spot to throw those Illuminates, so when Luna goes in, he gets him stuck. And again, pay attention how he doesn't instantly throws a snowball to drag everyone into an overwhelming odds from Legion. Abusing the Ice Shard's duration as a disable rather than just raw damage is a really big aspect of getting kills early on with Tusk. Vandy understands this perfectly, since she only stuns after Kato manages to get away from there, and only after the disable is over, Kuro goes in with Snowball. He also uses Salve just after he gets into the fog, knowing full well that Overwhelming Odds is not ready to cancel it. In hindsight, he should probably cast Clarity as well, but he probably didn't felt that this skill would be so hard to get. Legion jukes the crap out of everyone in the Dire team. I really like him checking Vanja's mana before popping his Clarity, but the amount of lane creeps that accumulated together with Illuminate explode Vanj. To be honest, I really feel like Kuro would be able to dodge that Illuminate with Snowball if he turned as soon as Kato cast it, but he betted on being able to run away from it. One thing I did not mention is him not buying brown boots before dying. This was a mistake, but what I really like is him going for Windlace instead of saving money for boots instead. The item is just a really great cost-effective asset to any support, and having that extra move speed to keep chasing and applying Orb of Venom can be the difference on getting more kills later and thus acquiring your brown boots. After he respawns, a very sad thing happens. Sometimes when you're uncertain of where you want to go, you end up leaving your fountain without noticing it. When he decides to TP mid to give Zeus a bottle refill, he ends up wasting his TP. Thankfully for Mr. Kuro, Tusk is the king of initiating and helping allies from distance. As he goes towards the top lane, he easily snipes Kato. Pay attention how diligent he is with Snowball. He doesn't use it right away after killing Kato. He wants to buy time for another magic missile, and to do that he can use his Orb of Venom and chase Legion a little bit. Maybe even add Luna in the Snowball if they get lucky. He casts it only when LC is about to get out of vision, and only because they took their time they secure another one. If you didn't notice, he gets level 2 Ice Shards instead of Snowball. If you pay attention to the scaling in them, you will see that not only Ice Shards get a hefty cooldown decrease, Snowball barely gets any. The damage you get from Ice Shards is also decent now, especially because dealing more damage with Snowball usually means you have to drag your allies around with you, and that's not always optimal. As Tusk goes mid and see that they won't be able to kill Mag because Zeus is not level 6, we see a small play that really makes a huge difference in higher MMR games. A lot of supports when rotating from lane to lane couldn't make their rotation more obvious. They go in the creep wave, they steal a last hit, they waste their mana with no purpose in the enemy hero. And since Tusk is a ganking hero, it's always important to be low-key. He waits until he can cross the river unnoticed and goes bottom. If we go back, we can see that Kuro spotted a very low on HP Shadow Demon retreating. With that bit of information alone, he predicts where he's going to, and by arriving there faster than Shadow Demon, and as I said, unnoticed, he guarantees a pick-off in Radiant's jungle. I need to say crispy play for this one. Luna ends up DCing, but that does not stop Kuro from going bottom to get a kill. He spotted Shadow Demon around that area pretty far away from the immobile Wraith King. That combined with Kato and Legion still being top and Void having Chrono is definitely an advantage for Kuro's team. See how he makes use of the Snowball stun first, and since Shadow Demon did not turn to cast Disruption, he can even wait a little bit before casting Ice Shards. He makes sure to keep attacking Wraith King to proc Orb of Venom, and they secure a double kill. I've been talking about this for a long time, but pros pretty much never walk back to base anymore, unless it's 100% necessary. Not only he goes for a shrine, but he calls Zeus to go with him. As he goes top with Venge, they keep walking and testing that area to see if Radiant had wards there, and apparently they did not. Since they saw Legion going forward and Kato retreating, they can flank him easily, getting a kill. Again, see how he makes complete use of the magic missile duration and only later casts Ice Shards in a way to completely block the old perf? Perfect. Luna was DC'd for a long time, and before she comes back we see another interesting clip. This is the last time I am talking about that, but since Tusk has two very long range skills, people think they need to cast it instantly as soon as the fight starts. First, see how he waits as long as possible to cast Ice Shards to secure a kill on Shadow Demon. He wanted to use Snowball to save Zeus. As you can see, he didn't even cast it on enemies, but he was a tad too late. To be fair, Shockwave is a pretty fast skill. We can see the same pattern of play here. There's literally no secret besides being pro-efficient with Ice Shards and managing cooldowns correctly. He goes for Magnus, which is the only hero he can deal damage without spending mana during Chrono. Makes sure to stun him even more, but only after Chrono is over, and since Legion is not strong enough to take him down alone, he can survive through everything inside the Snowball. I really like to pick Tusk against heroes with long disables like Mirana, Magnus and Legion, since it's very easy to save allies with the hero, without committing too many resources. At the same time, the hero is not defensive by any means and can secure kills early on, as we already saw. After that engagement, we see another attempt in Foresight from Kuro. He TPs in the lane, and obviously Kato didn't give any openings for him to go on him. But since Tusk has long range initiation, he expected Kato to either run away towards the bounty rune or just retreat completely. He ends up making the best of a bad situation. Not only he takes both runes, but kills Kato since he got greedy in the lane. And all of that snowballs into a huge amount of kills for the Dire team. Foresight is a very important skill to have when playing Tusk. It all starts the same way. Kuro spots a hero with low HP and predicts what is their next course of action. He doesn't know for sure whether their shrine is up or not, but he tries to go in anyway, and with the vision from Zeus out, he is able to secure the kill. Pay attention where he clicks to make sure that if he doesn't kill LC with the shards, he will get stuck. He snowballs to be sure, but the fight doesn't end here. He immobilizes Magnus with another beautiful ice shards, and this is all a matter of practice, but you can clearly see how good he is with the hero, always getting that value out of ice shards. Sometimes going with Snowball Forest can be a good idea, especially against heroes with fast move speed. The Snowball guarantees he is behind Legion, while he can cast shards with him immobilized, guaranteeing another one. It's not uncommon to go a more defensive build with Tusk, going Urn into Greaves for instance. In this game though, he felt like playing more like a damage dealer type of Tusk, rather than a Snow Ambulance. Some of the reasons are that probably the two squishy supports in the enemy team can get killed over and over again if he's strong enough, but also because Luna was away from the game for a long time, so he wants to make sure they have that extra bit of damage in fights she is lacking right now. Kuro ends up going for the plus damage talent, which synergizes pretty well with the items and approach he has on Tusk. I mean, even if you don't go for Armlet, I feel like that talent is better than straight up going for more experience.
He's got to use it soon, he will! Wow!
You always need to think what it is that you're getting with more experience in a hero. Most of the damage Tusk gets from his skill set is already there. His level 25 talents are not game changing at all, like Invokers, and even in Invoker's case, it seems like getting the non-experience bonus talents usually correlates with more win rate. So having that in mind, do you really need level 3 Walrus Punch faster as a support Tusk? When you think about it, Walrus Punch has terrible scaling. The only thing that improves is cooldown and slow duration. I mean, that's not that great. While you can have extra 122 damage now if you get the bonus damage talent, with the crit from Walrus Punch. I know this is not the fairest comparison, but this is just to show why most of the time extra experience and gold talents are not that good. Well, this wraps up for today. If you enjoyed this video, please guys give it a thumbs up, it helps a lot. If you want to see the extended version of this video, please check the link in the description. And I can't overstate how this video wouldn't ever be possible without the huge help from the Pugna guys, so please show them some love. Pugna is a platform where you can learn from people like Chessie, Fogged, Slasher, Monib, and get better at the game. They have now great content on 7.0.0, and if you want to raise your MMR, it's a great time. Just figure out the patch faster than others and get those easy wins. And of course, if you enjoy this content, please subscribe to my channel and let's keep learning together. He ends up fighting himself against a Pit Lord, which in the end is not an offlaner with a lot of aggressive power anyways, meaning that lack of regen again won't be an issue. If you pay attention, when the creep waves meet, Pudge was supposed to tank the ranged creep so that Pit Lord doesn't get free advantage in the lane. But since Fear